If you compare my fighting experience, it's huge.
And on the feet, her signature.
Overcommits to things, which will give me opportunities to, take advantage of it.
These girls did not just underestimate Dakota Duda. They disrespected her. They dismissed her skill, mocked her image, and spoke as if she were an illusion built by hype rather than a fighter forged by discipline, pain, and repetition. Every opponent came in believing the same thing, that Dakota had never truly been tested, that she had never been hit hard, that her undefeated record was fragile. And every single time, that disrespect lit a fire. What followed was not chaos for chaos's sake, but controlled violence. This was fighting as art, and Dakota was the artist painting with knees, fists, and an unbreakable calm. Her most recent test came against the Japanese wrecking ball Sumiko Inaba, a fighter who thrived on pressure and disorder. Inaba's record spoke for itself, but it was her reckless forward motion and refusal to retreat that defined her reputation. She fought like pain was fuel, crashing into opponents without fear, convinced that Dakota had never faced anyone like her. From the opening seconds, it became clear that belief was misplaced. Dakota set the tempo immediately, snapping punches down the middle and establishing her clinch with authority. Every exchange favored her balance and positioning. Inaba tried to walk her down, but Dakota's footwork and counter-punching kept resetting the fight on her terms. Knees ripped into the body, elbows slid through the guard, and the clinch became a prison rather than a refuge. Inaba's toughness kept her standing, but round by round the story was the same. Dakota was sharper, stronger, and frighteningly composed. By the final bell, there was no doubt who ruled the flyweight division. The lack of a finish said more about Inaba's durability than any flaw in Dakota's dominance. That dominance only grew louder in Paris, where Dakota faced Cornelia Holm, a seasoned submission specialist who openly questioned Dakota's ability to survive deep waters. The fight answered those questions violently. Holm shot early, desperate to impose her grappling, but Dakota's balance and awareness shut down every attempt. Knees punished every level change, and by the second round a laser right hand sent Holm reeling. Instead of rushing recklessly, Dakota showed patience, even proving her grappling credentials by threatening a choke of her own. When the final round arrived, Dakota looked fresher, stronger, and hungrier. A crisp combination dropped home, and a kick sealed the ending. It felt cinematic, like a script written for a star who refuses to break under pressure. Still, doubts lingered outside the cage. Critics insisted that Dakota had not faced true elite competition. That narrative led to a $1 million showdown with a former UFC title challenger, a seasoned Brazilian veteran believed to be the ultimate test. Youth versus experience. Precision versus grit. From the walkout, Dakota looked relaxed, almost playful, feeding off the energy of the crowd. The fight itself was anything but playful. Every grappling exchange tilted in Dakota's favor. Every striking attempt from her opponent was met with brutal counters. A front kick snapped the head back. Knees crushed the body. Against the fence, Dakota unloaded with a ferocity that drained the will from her opponent. As the round closed, a final knee and flurry ended the fight, crowning Dakota as Britain's first female MMA world champion. Her celebration was defiant and symbolic, a reminder that the insults and mockery had only sharpened her edge. Disrespect followed her everywhere. It followed her into bouts against undefeated prospects who spoke of crushing dreams. One such fighter entered with confidence and noise, believing Dakota's record would crumble under pressure. Instead, Dakota remained unfazed, managing distance with kicks and punishing every overextension. When the fight entered the clinch, Dakota took control, landing knees and hammer fists until the end came suddenly and brutally. One right hand changed everything. The message was clear. Talk does not stop fists. The pattern repeated in tournament action. Another opponent mocked her rituals, copied her mannerisms, and declared her beatable. Dakota responded with knees that chewed through legs and a grappling display that ended with her first submission victory. She did not just prove she could defend takedowns. She proved she could dominate on the ground, choke opponents unconscious, and adapt her style to whatever was needed. In Dublin, another challenger arrived with intimidation tactics and bold words, calling Dakota overrated and fragile behind a glamorous image. The fight was a punishment. Dakota welcomed pressure, dismantled it with counters, and unleashed vicious knees that caused visible damage. When the doctor stepped in, it was not mercy. It was necessity. Dakota danced with the belt and prize money, unbothered, victorious, and unapologetic. By the time she entered the American season, the division knew the truth even if some refused to say it aloud. Another challenger accused her of being manufactured, a golden child protected by promotion. Inside the cage, none of that mattered. Dakota dropped her opponent early, battered her with knees, crushed her body, and ended the fight with ruthless efficiency. Each finish sent a ripple through the division. Each victory silenced another voice. Dakota Duda does not shout. She does not beg for recognition. She lets her opponent speak first, then answers in the only language that matters inside the cage. Precision. Violence. Control. This is not hype. This is inevitability. If this breakdown of her rise kept you locked in, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more deep dives into fighters who break the mold, and let us know which Dakota finish stood out the most. The conversation is just getting started.